I'm gonna leave a little bit of the mic in the house because for a test, it'll just no, it's just distracting. I think I'm not gonna do that. Or should I? It might be weird. It might be weird. Just trying to think of a way. Interesting. Da da ba da 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 oh, spangled banner, yeah, wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and broad stars through the perilous fight of the land as he walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bursting in air, gave truth to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly what is going on? Rehailed. What's going on? Oh, soft knee. At the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare the birds bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Hello, 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 hello. O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, say it indeed.
Okay. I'm gonna go right down the front.
Okay. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stars and bright stars through the perilous fight. And love anew. Oh, the first camera's not on. And love. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free, yeah, and the home of the brave.
Yeah, and there's shade if he needs it, so it's beautiful outside.
It is so nice.
Yeah, we should when we go to the warehouse at some point, like for staff, we should open the garage.
Yeah.
It's like too nice to spend all day inside. We'll go for a lake walk.
Love driving I didn't even speak. It was so nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
That tea is so hot. It's like
Pro
lava.
presenter,
Oh, look at that.
first slide in the message. Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light? I've probably done some kind of like, if I know I have COVID, I can't come. I've probably done some kind of like, record an intro video, you know,
Awesome.
and you guys record something, and then I'll put it together later or something.
Yeah.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
pictures of mom and dad and help me with them.
As the twilight's last gleaming, and the rockets midway,
Yeah. Welcome to TNC. We're going to do a jingle, and then we're going to talk about how last Sunday was Kid City Give Back. And Tava's going to tell the youth cello story in depth. And then we're going to talk about the message. And we're going to say the kids drawing heaven. And Ollie did it about his dad fishing. And we're going to talk about where we find little glimpses of heaven. Little slices of heaven. A slice of heaven. Did you get a flavored coffee?
No.
God, no.
I hate those ones so much. Keep this here for monitoring purposes. And what do I need now?
What do you need?
I need to hit recording.
Oh, that'd be good.
Do one more talking to your mic?
Yes, I'm talking. I logged into the wrong Slack because I have 2 emails with the neighborhood church. It's a nightmare. Kim Peterson and Kim Kirby. I can never escape my maiden name because... Huh?
Good. All right, we're recording.
Cool.
And what did you? Joe, a nice plaque
Clap.
with a prayer box. I'm gonna use a prayer box for a plaque.
Huh. Take 1.
Podcast recording. April 23, 2024. Oh, yeah. Podcast recording. This is Kim's mic. April 23, 2024. Recording.
My tea is still lava.
Just in case that didn't work, here's a couple claps.
Woo!
Right. We're recording.
Okay.
I believe.
I hope so.
I do believe.
That's wonderful. All right.
All right, what's the jingle?
The jingle. The jingle-lingle. Tavo, I believe you came up with it.
But what's the number?
479. No, I don't even think it's
367.
367, but then it's 2285. I know it's the last
Let's
four.
just go with that. 4793667 2285 neighborhood church. Go ahead and look up that number. We don't know if
Let's
it's
hope
actually
that that's
correct.
right.
Our viewers have Google. They can look it
wait,
up.
I can't look. I'm bricked. My phone doesn't work.
Why not?
Remember, I have the brick
Oh,
thing?
you have the
Yeah.
protective layer.
I'm trying to be bricked at least all of the time.
It is all of the time, really?
No, is this part of the
We
podcast?
might explain what brick is. Yeah, might
Yeah.
as well at this point.
Well, brick is a thing where I go and scan my phone on this little thing that you like put on your fridge or anything that's magnetized. And basically, you choose within this app what apps you want to allow while you are bricked. And it just kind of gives you a little more control over how often you're on your phone. Yeah. Because if you do like the time limits, it's so easy to be like, ignore for the day and then just immediately do whatever else. But when you're bricked, it like gives you a time that you're bricked and stuff. So I'm trying to be bricked most of the time.
That's really good.
I give myself like a few minutes a day.
That's really good.
You know, but
that's really good. When we think about our theme of heaven,
mm-hmm.
We think about
how we are a people because we believe in the gospel. We believe we've been transformed.
Mm-hmm.
We're people that are gripped by a story.
Yeah.
You know, there's a story that is the guiding story of our lives, and we all have stories, right? And
Yeah.
and in so many respects, is recovering your story to match up with the gospel story that you are loved, that you are redeemed, and there's a hope for your future. Is so much of what psychological healing even is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think, to a large degree, when we're talking about heaven and living into heaven, is making sure that we're not too gripped into these stories that we find in the world that are not true.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about what's a popular thing that people talk limiting beliefs. Talk about limiting beliefs. That's a sort of a limiting belief that we hear from TV, that we hear from movies, that we hear from culture in general.
Yeah.
And there's an upkeep that us as Christians need to do. In order to maintain that to make sure that the story that's guiding our lives is the gospel, and staying off of your phone all the time is probably a good idea to do that.
Honestly, like Ryan and I have both been doing it, and we're like, life is way better bricked.
Yeah.
Like we feel like we're alive.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
whenever I'm on my phone too much in a day, I just feel like it honestly just like makes me feel sad.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels like I'm sleepwalking.
Yeah, I know.
Or I'm
It's
not
just,
in control of like
time just goes away and
Yeah.
you don't know what happened to it.
yeah, it's not fun
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So good time. Well, that was a lovely jingle.
That was the jingle section.
That was the jingle section. So last Sunday was Kid City Give Back.
It was
2 days ago.
Yep.
And Kid City Give Back is, we collect noisy coin. So like during the Kid City section of our Sunday service, we have a little noisy coin bucket, and kids come up and they drop their little coins in. It's very adorable. And well, it turns out those coins add up because it was like over at least over $1,000.
No, I think it was like $700 and something.
Oh, I thought it was like 1,700.
1,700. Oh, maybe I heard it wrong. I don't know, but whatever. It's
Well,
like coins add
a
up to
large sum
significant
of money.
Yeah.
We gave back to the kids in envelopes this
Yeah.
past Sunday,
Yeah.
so that then they could go out into the community
Yeah.
and do wonderful things with it.
Do a project.
Yeah,
or
do a
serve in the
project
community
or-
somehow donate or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah, it's an interesting teaching moment for a parent. I hope that
Yeah.
the kids aren't just going there and just spending it all on candy or whatever.
I pray.
That's the prayer. The parents are helping kids learn to give and live a life out of abundance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I heard a prayer recently about giving, and it was like, we're not giving under. Oh gosh, I'm gonna push this coercion.
Oh yeah,
Coercion?
Yeah.
Always gets me. We're giving out of abundance and knowing that it is a ever flowing,
Yeah.
abundance
Yeah.
from God. So
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
lovely teaching moment.
Yeah, I was helped by a lot of when I was kind of coming into my journey of faith. I was helped by a lot of people in churches that I was in because I was just in financial dire straits at multiple times, and a lot of people just helped me abundantly.
Yeah.
And I would say, I would thank them for their help, but what they would say is, it's not my money.
Yeah.
Everything is the Lord's, so it's
Yeah.
not my money. I just manage it. So here's,
That's so sweet.
$200. Here's $500. Here's $1,000 somebody gave me.
Aw.
Somebody
Wow.
at one point I was doing delivery driving.
Oh, was it shipped?
I think it was DoorDash. Early years of
DoorDash.
DoorDash. Yeah,
Sure.
I think they were just brand new, and I was doing that
Exciting
because I just
times.
needed it. Yeah, and I was about to go out, and we met. My church met on Sunday afternoon. And
interesting.
Yeah, it was like Sunday at 4 or something like that.
That's
I'm
cool.
not sure why that was, but I preferred it because I'm not a morning person in
What?
the first place. Yeah, you're surprised?
Interesting.
I am not at all a morning person, as you know, as my wife can attest. Not because we fight in the morning, just because I don't function.
I don't think anyone would have assumed
okay,
it's 'cause you
just
fight in the
making
morning.
Sure, just making sure. Anyway, I needed to that Sunday. I needed to go out and work somewhere because I hadn't met the money I needed to make, and so I needed to go out
Yeah.
somewhere. And a friend of mine was like, "No, come over to my house. Let's have dinner." I was like, "Sorry, I can't. I get work." He's like, "How much are you gonna make?" I'm like, I don't know, probably $50 when I work for
Yeah.
a couple hours. It depends how lucky I get. He's like, here, $50, just come over to my house.
Aw.
I was like, well, okay,
Okay.
you fixed it, and we hung out. But there's just something about the generosity.
Yeah.
Generosity that we should be creating and encouraging in Christian environments. That is a form of bringing heaven to earth.
Yeah, that's
just to
very
tie back
true.
to
It
the
is a
theme.
way
Yeah.
of bringing heaven to earth
Yeah.
and like blessing someone
Yeah.
with not your money,
Yeah.
God's money.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
And
just
teaching
managing it.
kids to,
Yeah.
to do it too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's the
absolutely.
idea.
So, speaking of kids, there was a really cute youth situation last week. And a cello was given away.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us the story about that?
Yeah. Okay, so I told this on Sunday. We have a youth that plays with us in the youth band,
Mhm.
and she plays the cello, and she loves the cello.
Yeah.
Last Sunday, well, I'll get to that in a minute. But she plays the cello, and she played a cello that she borrowed from school,
Yeah.
and it broke. The I forget what it's called. The little pin that it sits on just went in, and the cello needs to rest on something. And
Oh,
so
you're talking about at the end of the cello.
Yes, exactly.
pin,
There's a little,
yeah.
there's a pin. I forget what that pin's called right now.
I think it might be called a
It
pin.
sits on a little puck, and then there's a pin,
Uh-huh.
and then it needs to sit on
It
something.
balances, yeah.
Yeah, it balances it. Yeah, and that was broken, so she'd have to like prop it with her feet or something, and then it just you can't really play. And so,
No.
of course, if she's just playing with it anyway, she's just risking breaking it further.
Yeah.
So she just showed up on a Wednesday for a youth group, and she just had no cello. And I'm like, "Where's your cello?" She's like, "I don't have one." And she, her parents told me their story, and I was really, really deeply moved by it because she loves it. She tries out for all of the school
So sweet.
activities, the pit orchestras for the things. And
Yeah.
she wants to be a part of everything. The summer week-long cello camps, she's getting so good at it.
Yeah.
She's just on it all the time.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I saw myself a little bit because at that age, I played guitar like that. I was just eating it up,
Obsessed, yeah.
obsessed. And not having an instrument to practice on is to just to
It's
see
like
somebody's
devastating.
talent
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Honestly.
And so I talked to Tom, not knowing that we had much of a way to do anything
Yeah.
about it because cellos are expensive. And
How
I
much
talked
does
to-
a cello run?
Well, a beginner cello will cost around. It depends if you're buying used or new. So a new one
Sure.
is about $1,500 for a
Jeez.
beginner high school cello.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And if you have a family of 4,
Good Lord. Yeah.
with little kids, so only dad works. You don't have an extra $1,500
That's
lying
so
around.
much money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so much money.
It's
exactly.
so expensive.
Yeah. We bought it used, so we didn't pay that much, but it was
That's
still
awesome,
a
yeah.
significant amount of money.
Yeah.
And so, I talked to Tom Helmich, who leads the youth group, and right away, right off the bat, which just a testament to the kind of guy he is, but also the kind of Christian community that we're shooting for.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, he's like, I think I have a few ideas.
Aw.
And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, he said, send me a link, and I sent him a link and got in touch with Peyton Lickfelt, who
Oh,
is a
really?
music ed down in Alma.
Oh my gosh.
Because he's a music teacher in high school,
perfect.
right? And so I was like, hey, is this? I don't know much about cellos. I know
Yeah.
guitar. Like, is this a good one? He's like, actually, I'm more of a brass guy, but let me ask somebody else. And then that guy, you looked at the links we had and said, go with this one for sure. And so we
That's
picked that
perfect.
one. Tom brought it up to the shop, and the guy said, oh, he just needs new strings and it needs to change something in the bridge or whatever. I forget what it was, but
Yeah.
he fixed it. We brought it over here. We let her borrow it on Sunday because she had a tryout.
That was the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like there was this point where she was like, actually, she's wondering if she could borrow it for like just a sec.
Yeah. She was just gonna borrow the cello for a little
Yeah.
bit, but on Wednesday we revealed to her that the cello was hers,
Yeah.
and that we just wanted to bless her with a new instrument that she continued to pursue
Yeah.
her passion and talent. And I think that pursuing your talents and passion, especially in the arts, is another way of bringing heaven to earth.
Yeah.
That's just
Absolutely.
such.
Music.
I always mention this, but I don't even know if it's true, but it doesn't matter because it's such a good quote that
Yeah.
apparently in Parliament when Churchill was debating with whatever the other 150 people that sit in Parliament in England yelling at each other. Have you seen that?
No.
It's really look up English
Sounds
Parliament.
stressful.
It's just they just yell. It's kind of a model from
effective.
a very long time ago that still exists. They just yell at each other. Anyway, in one of those discussions, they were trying to cut funds from the arts because of the war effort. And Churchill said, if we're not investing in the arts, then what are we fighting a war for?
Ooh. Mm.
And I think that really strikes me, because it's like, well, if like, what is the sign of a thriving, healthy community? You know, like there's like, if all of our troubles are gone and if everything is well, then what do we spend our time doing?
That's such a good point, honestly.
You know, yeah,
That's
Yeah.
that's actually like, if when we think about like heaven on earth,
yeah,
it is. It's like, it's the arts, it's music, it's
Yeah.
nature, it's enjoying those
exactly.
things.
It's enjoying,
yeah.
And so, to me, being able to pursue your talents in the arts and is a very heaven-like exercise. So
Yeah.
we would be not like, if we withhold ability for the kids to engage in those activities, in a way, we're withholding heaven from our kids.
It's true.
You know,
Yeah.
so that wouldn't be good. So it was. I mean, it was a really, really great joy to help her out.
Yeah. It was
And
really
she's so
sweet.
She's so thankful.
Yeah. I got to watch it, and I was standing right next to Tom, and both of us were crying.
I know.
It's
Oh
just
my God.
immediate tears. It was just like, because she was just like shocked. She was like, "Wait, what?
Yeah.
You're
She's in shock.
kidding?"
Yeah.
Like her hands were like over her eyes, like on her head, like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, I can't believe this." It was the sweetest
Yeah.
thing, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, like sometimes we get into like, what's the point of it all, and there's that idea of the Trinity, that like, God is 3 in 1, and it's a mystery we don't understand, but God existed for all time. That's what we're told in Scripture through Revelation, and then somebody's meditated on that, and they thought, well, what were they doing the whole time, you know, and there's this idea that they're loving on each other and seeking to outlove one another. And that's just such a beautiful picture of what we are supposed to be doing.
It is, yeah. I think a lot of people have said that, or at least I've heard that in a lot of marriage contexts too. Is like, as long as you're seeking to outserve and outlove each other, like you're not gonna go wrong. Like you'll be good.
Yeah,
you'll be just fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very true.
Yeah. For that matter, when we talk about there's Joe's doing this. Pastor Joe's doing this sort of a joke with the Good Place, that series.
Yeah.
That pits heaven and hell. And it's a really funny series.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot
It's
when I
such a
watched
good
it.
show.
Yeah, it's a really funny
Jeremy
show.
Bearimy. There's just so many.
Jeremy Bearimy.
things.
There's so many things.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is when they were for episodes on end, they just kept threatening that they were going to call their superior. They're going to call their superior.
Yeah.
And then when they finally do, his name's Sean. It's just some guy called Sean.
We're gonna call
I
Sean.
don't know why that just rocked me.
It's so ironic. Like all of the things in that show are just so. If you haven't watched it, it's on Netflix.
It's on. I don't
The
even
Good
know if
Place.
it's on Netflix, but
I think
it
it's
is.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell, yeah.
I don't know any of the names of the other celebrities.
Me neither, but it's
that
a
play
really
our actors, but
it's a really funny show.
It
I
is.
definitely watch. But one of the things that I think that I don't know if that would be spoiling it. Are we trying to avoid spoilers?
probably, maybe not.
Maybe I'll say that at the end of our series.
Okay.
It's just a little point of
Yeah, let's wait.
comparison with the show, but it plays on the very ending of the show, and so maybe
Yeah, let's wait.
let's wait on that.
Let's wait.
All right, we can wait.
Yeah. Okay, so it was very adorable. But on Sunday, the kids drew pictures of heaven.
Yep.
Or like their
Yep.
visions of what they think
Yeah.
of when you say heaven.
Yeah.
And specifically, Ollie. Ollie Lewis.
Yeah, the Lewis is good.
He drew a picture of him and his dad
Yeah.
fishing
Yeah, that's
on
cute.
a dock.
Yeah,
And he's like, "This is heaven."
yeah,
How freaking cute!
that's very cute.
I
That's
hope
very cute.
Adam was feeling.
Oh,
Very
I'm
happy.
not a dad, but if I were his dad, at
I'd
this
be
moment, I
crying,
would just
yeah.
be beaming,
Right.
just jumping up and down.
Yeah, like,
inside,
I did it.
trying
you
to
know?
contain it. Yeah.
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 Oh my gosh, there were some other really cute ones too. I'm trying to think of a lot of like I don't know.
There was that the one kid who said, "I don't know."
Just IDK
Yeah, IDK.
in the picture spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was Chase.
Yeah, that's
Chase
funny.
Thompson. Yeah. Same.
Ivy Parnell. I think she drew herself in Jesus.
Oh, that was so
Yeah.
cute. They were like, "Who is this?" And she was like, "Me and Jesus." And I nearly crumbled.
Yeah.
It was adorable.
Yeah, that's very cute. It's very adorable.
Yeah.
How kids portray heaven.
Yeah.
Because interestingly, it's not just the stuff. right?
Mhm.
It's the relationships that they're
Yeah.
thinking about in
It's
heaven,
the
because
people
that is,
and yeah.
and they're right about that. I mean, we don't know exactly what heaven's going to look like
Yeah.
physically,
Right.
or what exactly it even is. We just know that all things will be made new, that God will bring
Yeah.
finally heaven to earth, and all will be well. But we
Yeah.
do know that relationships
Yeah.
are the things that we take with us. you
Yeah.
know?
Which is so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's like gives me a lot of hope. Where do you find little glimpses of heaven on earth?
I think like what we already talked about is moments of I mean
In the arts?
it, yeah, I mean there's moments in Galatians. Paul talks about the fruits of the Spirit, and the fruit of the Spirit is joy, it's perseverance, it's love and patience, and I don't remember the whole list,
Yeah.
but wherever I can find those things, I find that I'm experiencing a little bit of heaven, and,
Yeah.
and it reminds me of C.S. Lewis has a number of very, very famous quotes.
Mhm.
This one is, I mean, I've heard it in churches so many times, but I've heard it because it's good. Where he says, if I find myself a desire that nothing in this earth satisfies, then maybe it's because I am made for something that's not of this earth.
Checks out.
The conclusion of your desire.
Yeah.
So I think he has another quote where he says, and I don't remember the exact quote, and maybe I can pull it up later, but he talks about when God invites us to heaven and we deny him, it's because we're sitting around, and the word he uses, we're making mud pies in the slum. Because we can't imagine what anybody might mean by going on vacation on a cruise. That's not, I'm paraphrasing a little bit.
Yeah.
Actually quite a bit. But the idea is like, we think that our little life is all important. He says we keep messing about, what a Britishism, messing about with food and sex and all of these things that we think satisfy us.
Yeah.
But the point is, there's something much, much, much greater than we even realize that is coming. And I mean, a Christian hope is essentially founded on that.
Yeah.
So wherever we can find hope, wherever we can find
Like pure joy.
love and joy that is
Yeah.
pure, unadulterated, I think that's a little piece of heaven.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like a little piece of it was seeing Cherie get that cello.
Yeah.
Just what came together, the people coming together not because of their own agenda or desire, but because of the desire to want to show God's love.
Yeah.
That's just pure joy.
Right. Exactly.
And it was beautiful. Like I couldn't miss it. I don't lead youth. I don't ever go to youth, but I was like, Ryan,
you
we're
heard about
going
the
tonight.
story, and you wanted to be here for it.
We're going to witness that. But yeah, no, I sometimes, like, if I'm by myself in nature where there's nothing man-made around me, like sometimes it's I wonder if it's just the few distractions that allow me to feel closer to God. I don't know that it necessarily feels like heaven on earth, because it's literally earth. I'm looking at earth in nature, but it does help me feel more connected to God being in nature. It's probably more about the less distractions and like the quiet and the focus. But that's a really good space for me too. But I agree with you. It's like when I have very pure moments of connection and prayer with Ryan in marriage is a really lovely like slice of heaven for me.
It is,
and in great conversation with friends and times at church, in worship, in music. Music is a big one. Where I can just feel like pure worship and joy is a big one for me too.
I think the point about nature, I mean, the psalm says that the heavens declare the glory of God, right? And it's just because nature is God's creation, and there's just something that happens when you look at nature. For me, it's bodies of water for whatever reason. When I see a large body of water, I'm like in awe. I'm like, I can't stop looking at it. I don't know what to do about it. Or fire. Fire is also very
really?
For some reason. Just looking at fire for some reason.
Yeah,
fire
you can
gazing.
just look at it. That's so true. Like when you're sitting around a campfire. You don't have to be talking.
Exactly. You just look at the fire.
Like, the conversation's great, but like you could just look at the fire and you're good. And I grew up next to Lake Michigan. And I would go like at least 3 or 4 times a week and just look at the water, and it was therapeutic for me. I just look. even when it
really
was
is.
frozen.
It really is. It's amazing.
It's Michigan, really
Yeah,
cold.
there's another C.S. Lewis bit where he talks about his coming to faith, and he used to love going out in nature, and he
Yeah.
thought that if he became a Christian, then he would have to give up going out in nature because then he has to go to church on Sundays, and that's when we went out to nature. And then of course that wasn't the deciding factor in his
Yeah.
life, and he became a Christian. And then he writes later about how he didn't lose, like when he gave his life to Christ, he didn't lose the things he loved, but he gained a new way of experiencing it that he thought were much greater than before, because
Yeah.
now nature isn't just nature, but it's our Father's creation.
Yeah.
You know, and we're enveloped in that. And
Yeah.
we look at a body of water, and we don't experience just water molecules, we experience God's love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just a much more enhanced way of an enchanted way of living life
Yeah.
in the first place.
Yeah, it's much more beautiful.
Yeah, much better. Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah.
Where would you take Kara for a slice of heaven?
Camping.
Camping.
She just wants to go camping. And she
I
will
love
be
it.
when Kara's in nature,
Yeah.
she can be in a bad mood or work is heavy and tiring. I know that all we have to do is just go out on a trail, and she's instantly happy. And I don't even know why, because nothing's changed.
So
It's
sweet.
only a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
But somehow she's like jumping up and down just because we're out in nature. So I think for her, nature is a big one. She just has to be outside, outdoors. Yeah.
Yeah. We yesterday I I had Chick-fil-A breakfast, and it basically just put me in like a carb coma, essentially, for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Honestly, it kind of ruined my day.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever
I
gonna.
mean,
do that
it's
again.
delicious.
It
but
was, it was like,
But also, should you? Yeah.
it was delicious and
Is that the best decision?
horrible. I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah.
That sucked. I'm not gonna do that the rest of the day. Anyway, so I just kind of had like an off day a little bit. Took a nap. I was so tired, and in the afternoon, it was just kind of sluggish.
Yeah.
And Ryan was like, "Let's go for a walk."
Mm-hmm.
And we went for like a good 2-mile walk.
Nice.
And I'm like, wow,
Yeah, new
my
person.
whole day has turned around.
Yeah.
Like, this is great. I feel awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's just being outside is like a whole reset for my
Yeah.
mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
100%.
That's good. It's
So I get
important.
it.
Health
Health
is
is
a way
important.
of bringing heaven to earth.
Yeah.
Living into health is living into heaven. There's all of these ways.
Yeah. Don't eat Chick-fil-A breakfast.
Also don't make it a rule, but like
Be intentional
be
about when you eat
interested.
it.
Be interested in health. Yeah, don't just maybe like stuffing your face full of Chick-fil-A and McDonald's every day.
Not the best.
It's not a life-giving.
Yeah, not
enterprise.
consistently.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
consistently. Yeah, well, I mean, we're about grace. We're not about rules and law. And so, with grace for the journey wherever you're at, but also,
Within reason.
there's a clear path to health, at least when it comes to nutrition.
Yeah.
Not that I'm following it very well, but
Yeah, apparently I'm not either. Except for the walk that I
there
took.
you go.
I want to say that Ryan would be like an Illinois basketball game.
Oh, really? That's heaven?
No, I think that like is such a big passion of his that
Yeah.
that's kind of like where my mind goes first.
Yeah.
But he is also the same way. Like when we are outside,
Yeah.
and more specifically, he grew up going to Lake Cumberland in Kentucky,
Yeah, yeah.
and there's just like very beautiful, vast shorelines that are just like pure joy
Yeah.
and like represent no stress and no distractions
Yeah.
and being in the moment and
Yeah.
like bringing some of those heavenly things
Yeah.
in of just being able to be completely present and experiencing joy with people
Yeah.
he loves. And so I feel like it
Yeah.
would be the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think being with people that you really, really love
Yeah.
is just as close to heaven. I mean, family for me
Yeah.
is probably one of the biggest,
Yeah.
if not the biggest thing. But there's just some friends, at my wedding, you were there.
Yeah.
Just seeing friends come together for so many years.
Yeah.
That is just the joy of nothing to do even with the wedding, but just the
Yeah.
joy of seeing friends like that we hadn't seen in so long.
Yeah.
It's
And
just
all in
so
one place.
overwhelming. And
Yeah.
everybody,
And
all
everyone
in one
place.
place.
And you're just like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, like
Yeah.
all of these different facets of my life
Yeah.
they're colliding
Yeah.
right now in the
Yeah.
best way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because while I have a lot of different types of friends,
Yeah.
or like different types of people that I'm friends with,
Yeah.
you know, there is the common ground of me.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
they all get along in like some
yeah,
way, you know?
yeah.
So that was I
Yeah.
also felt that way at our wedding.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, like
yeah.
these are, you know, childhood friends to new friends
Yeah.
to church friends to, you know,
Yeah.
and family.
Yeah.
It was a wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that ultimately, like, that's the key thing about heaven is this: it's just love being ultimately fully expressed and fully received. You
Yeah.
know, I think that's just. I can die now, you know,
Yeah.
except that then I won't.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty excited to hear about what the kids are going to be doing. I know there was one family that went out and bought kibble, like dog food, and brought it to an animal shelter.
That's a good idea.
So that's sweet.
We should probably get some more ideas because I know some people are trying to figure out what to do. They don't know quite how to spend the money with the kids.
What else? I mean, you could go out and buy food for the free pantry.
Free pantry, that's probably a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I've heard, and I've done it myself a couple of times, is, you know, when you are driving and you drive past someone who is looking for some help.
Right.
And I personally just never have cash. Like I never, ever.
Yeah.
And I don't love giving cash as it is in that context.
Yeah.
And so I would like go to Sam's Club and create little baggies with like some granola bars or like some like trail mix. Like they have like the little like separated, you know, pre-portioned out bags of stuff. So you could do that. You could go buy some of those and then hand them out.
Yeah.
There's like care packages that you could create for homeless. Yeah.
Socks apparently are the number one requested thing from the unhoused community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
I think that's a good. You have much better ideas than I do. I guess I live in my head too much.
There's also just there's so many good nonprofits around. Like there's the Northwest Arkansas Women's Shelter. Yeah. That's a good one. You know, just simply donating the money. Don't discount that either. I mean, it's great to like create an experience out of it, and I'm sure parents listening are looking to create an experience for their kid to really like fathom and grasp what they're giving away and the impact it's having. So I understand that too.
Yeah, I mean, maybe people can send in some ideas to help us out.
If you want to text 97,000.
Oh yeah.
97000. With your ideas that we can share in the next podcast, or actually, and even more excitingly, text photos of what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be fun.
Awesome.
We could share those out in the email and like send us a little text of like what you guys did.
Yeah.
We can share that too. Maybe that'll give some ideas, but that'd be fun.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good to celebrate how we're trying to live into heaven here.
Yeah, it's good to share and also inspire to go do more, because it doesn't have to stop with the KidCITY give back.
Absolutely not.
This is one time a year, folks.
Should not be a one a year.
Maybe
thing.
once a month.
Yeah,
you could do it with your kids.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love it. All right. Well, cool. Man, what do we got coming up next Sunday? More Heaven series, right?
You know, I'm out of town this Sunday, so I haven't been looking very heavily onto the exact
you
programs.
You are out of town.
Yeah, I believe Taylor Smith is leading worship.
Yeah.
So
I'm singing.
And you're singing.
Yeah.
And Mercedes is singing. And I think Tom is preaching this Sunday.
Ooh.
Is it Tom?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing this before staff meeting. That's why we don't remember all of these things.
Yeah, just so you guys know, we're usually a little more informed.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be good. So yeah, tune in to service on Sunday. Come into the church, even better.
Yeah.
And see Tom preach.
Yep.
And experience a little heaven.
Absolutely.
And worship. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. That's it.
All right.
That's all she wrote. Bye, guys.
Bye. 32 minutes. Great. Felt plenty long.
Yeah. Now the big question is, who's doing what with it? Apparently.
Oh, that whole. I mean,
That whole thing.
I could sit here and write. Somebody needs to rename Channel 34 to Jacob. Somebody needs to rename. You know what I mean? It's just minutia, you know?
Yeah. Well, who wants to do it? I'm gonna take Murphy.
We never explained why Joe wasn't here.
What'd you say?
We never explained why Joe was not with us.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think it's always gonna be like the three of us anyway.
Yeah.
So may as well just keep people guessing. Murphy.
For lunch.
Oh, I made chicken and couscous green beans with disgustingly salty
Really?
pan sauce. Yeah, I didn't have the bouillon paste,
Okay.
and so I used my Knorr granulated and some Knorr salt. And so I just mix it with everything. So
I'm gonna get some Mr. Green. I don't think we're having that much.
Um,
Where
I'm
you
gonna
look?
go take one out.
No. Limiting beliefs. Talk about limiting beliefs. That's sort of a limiting belief that we hear from TV, that we hear from movies, that we hear from culture in general.
Yeah.
And there's an upkeep that us as Christians need to do in order to maintain to make sure that the story that's guiding our lives is the gospel. And staying off of your phone all the time is probably a good idea to do that.
Honestly, like Ryan and I have both been doing it, and we're like, life is way better for it.
Yeah.
Like we feel like we're alive.
Yeah.
Like whenever I'm on my phone too much of the day, I just feel like it honestly just makes me feel sad.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels like I'm sleepwalking.
Yeah, I know.
Or I'm not in control of
Yeah,
like.
time just goes away.
Yeah.
And you don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, good time. Well, that was a lovely jingle.
That was the jingle section.
That was the jingle section. So last Sunday was KidCITY Give Back.
It was.
2 days ago.
Yep.
And KidCITY Give Back is, we collect noisy coin. So like during the KidCITY section of our Sunday service, we have a little noisy coin bucket, and kids come up and they drop their little coins in. It's very adorable. And well, it turns out those coins add up because it was like over what? At least over $1,000 bucks.
No, I think it was like $700 something dollars.
Oh, I thought it was like 1,700.
1,700. Oh, maybe I heard it wrong. I don't know, but whatever. It's like coins add up to significant money. Yeah.
We gave back to the kids in envelopes this past Sunday.
Yeah.
So that then they could go out into the community.
Yeah.
And do wonderful things with it.
Do a project or
serve. Project or
donate or something.
Yeah.
That's an interesting teaching moment for a parent. I hope that the kids aren't just going there and just spending it all on candy or whatever.
I pray.
That's the prayer. The parents are helping kids learn to give and live a life out of abundance.
Yeah. Absolutely. I heard a prayer recently about giving, and it was like, we're not giving under, oh gosh, I'm gonna butcher this, coercion. Oh yeah. Coercion. Yeah. Always gets me. We're giving out of abundance and knowing that it is a ever flowing. Abundance from God. So it's a lovely teaching moment.
Yeah, I was helped by a lot of when I was kind of coming into my journey of faith. I was helped by a lot of people in churches that I was in because I was just in financial dire straits multiple times, and a lot of people just helped me abundantly.
Yeah.
And I would say, I would thank them for their help, but what they would say is, it's not my money. Everything is the Lord, so it's not my money. I just manage it. So here's
that's so sweet.
$200. Here's $500. Here's $1,000. Somebody gave me. Somebody at one point I was doing delivery driving.
Oh, was it shipped?
It was. I think it was DoorDash. Early years of DoorDash. Yeah, sure. They were just brand new. And I was doing that because I just needed it. Yeah, and I was about to go out, and we met. My church met on Sunday afternoon. And
interesting.
Yeah, it was like Sunday at 4 or something like that.
That's cool.
I'm not sure why that was, but I preferred it because I'm not a morning person.
What?
In the first place. Yeah. You surprised?
Interesting.
I'm not at all a morning person, as you know, as my wife can attest. Not because we fight in the morning, just because I don't function. Okay, just making sure. Anyway, I needed to that Sunday. I needed to go out and work somewhere because I hadn't met the money I needed to make, and so I needed to go out somewhere. And a friend of mine was like, "No, come over to my house and set dinner." I was like, "Sorry, I can't. I get work." He's like, "How much are you gonna make?" I'm like, "I don't know, probably $50. I'm gonna work for a couple of hours. It depends how lucky I get." He's like, "Here, $50. Just come over to my house."
Aww.
I was like, "Well, okay. Fixed it." And we hung out. But there's just something about the generosity.
Yeah.
With generosity that we should be creating and encouraging in Christian environments. That is a form of bringing heaven to earth.
Yeah, that's very true. It is a way of bringing heaven to earth and like blessing someone with not your money, God's money. Yeah. We're just managing it.
To do it too.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of kids, there was a really cute youth situation last week. And a cello was given away.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us the story about that?
Yeah. Okay, so I told this on Sunday. We have a youth that plays with us in the youth band, and she plays the cello, and she loves the cello. Last Sunday, I'll get to that in a minute, but she plays the cello, and she played a cello that she borrowed from school, and it broke. I forget what it's called, the little pin that it sits on just went in, and the cello needs to rest on something.
So you're talking about the end of the cello.
Yes, exactly.
The pin,
there's a pin. I forget what that pin's called.
I think it might be called a pin.
It sits on a little puck, and then there's a pin, and it needs to sit on something.
It balances,
it balances it, and that was broken, so she'd have to like prop it with her feet or something, and it just, you can't really play. And so, of course, if she's just playing with it anyway, she's just risking breaking it further. So she just showed up on a Wednesday for a youth group, and told me their story, and I was really, really deeply moved by it because she loves it. She tries out for all of the school activities, the pit orchestra for the things.
Yeah.
She wants to be a part of everything. The summer week-long cello camps, she's getting so good at it.
Yeah.
You know, she's just on it all the time.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I saw myself a little bit because at that age, I played guitar like that. I was just eating it up,
Yeah.
obsessed. You know, and not having an instrument to practice on is to just
It's
see
like
somebody's
devastating.
talent
Yeah.
die. You know,
Yeah.
that's awful.
Honestly.
And so I talked to Tom, not knowing that we had much of a way to do anything about
Yeah.
it because cellos are expensive. And
How
I
much
talked
does
to,
a cello run?
well, a beginner cello will cost around. It depends if you're buying used or new. So a new one is
Sure.
about $1,500 for a beginner high school cello. You
That's
know,
crazy.
and if you have a family of 4,
Good
yeah,
lord.
you know,
Yeah.
with little kids, so only dad works. You don't have an extra 1,500
That's so
lying around.
much money.
Yeah, it's so much money.
It's
exactly.
so expensive.
Yeah, we bought it used, so we didn't pay that much, but still a significant amount of money.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I talked to Tom Helmich, who leads the youth group, and right away, right off the bat, which is just a testament to you know, the kind of guy he is, but also the kind of Christian community that we're shooting for.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, he's like, I think I have a few ideas.
Aw.
You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, he said, send me a link, and I sent him a link and got in touch with Peyton Lickfeld, who is a
really?
music ed down in Alma.
Oh my gosh.
Because he's a music teacher in high school,
perfect.
right? And so I was like, hey, is this? I don't know much about cellos. I know
Yeah.
guitar. Like, is this a good one? He's like, actually, I'm more of a brass guy, but let me ask somebody else. And then that guy, he looked at the links we had and said, go with this one for sure. And so we picked that
perfect.
one. Tom brought it up to the shop, and the guy said, oh, we just need some new strings and it needs to change something in the bridge or whatever. I forget what it was, but he
Yeah.
fixed it. We brought it over here. We let her borrow it on Sunday because she had a tryout.
That was the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like there was this point where she was like, actually, she's wondering if she could borrow it for like just a sec.
She was just gonna borrow the cello for a little
Yeah.
bit, but on Wednesday we revealed to her that the cello was hers,
Yeah.
and that we just wanted to bless her with a new instrument that she continued to pursue
Yeah.
her passion and talent, and I think that pursuing your talents and passion, especially in the arts, is another way of bringing heaven to earth. You
Yeah.
know, that's just
Absolutely.
I
Music.
always mention this, but I don't even know if it's true, but it doesn't matter because it's such a good quote. That apparently in Parliament, when Churchill was debating with whatever the other 150 people that sit in Parliament, I think that really struck me because
She was just like shocked. She was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Like her hands were like over her eyes, like on her head, like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I can't believe this. It was the sweetest thing, you
Yeah.
know?
yeah, like sometimes we get into like what's the point of it all, and there's that idea of the Trinity that like, you know, God is 3 in 1, and it's a mystery we don't understand, but God existed for all time. That's what we're told in Scripture through Revelation, and then somebody meditated on that, and they thought, well, what were they doing the whole time, you know? And there's this idea that they're loving on each other and seeking to outlove one another, and that's just such a beautiful picture of what we are supposed to be doing.
It is, yeah. I think a lot of people have said that, or at least I've heard that in a lot of marriage contexts too. Is like, as long as you're seeking to outserve and outlove each other, like you're not gonna go wrong. Like you're gonna you're just fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very true.
Yeah. For that matter, when we talk about there's Joe's doing this, Pastor Joe's doing this sort of a joke with the Good Place, that series.
Yeah.
With the pits, heaven and hell. It's a really funny series.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot when I watched it.
Show.
Yeah, it's a really funny
Jeremy
show.
Bearimy. There's just so many.
Jeremy Bearimy.
things.
There's so many things. My favorite thing is when they were for episodes on end, they just kept threatening that they were going to call their superior. They're going to call their superior.
Yeah.
And then when they finally do, his name's Sean. It's just some guy called Sean. I don't know why that just rocks me.
It's so ironic. Like all of the things in the show are just so. If you haven't watched it, it's on Netflix.
It's on. Yeah, it is.
The Good Place. I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell, yeah.
I don't know any of the names of the other
Me
celebrities.
neither, but it's a
that play
really,
our actors,
it's a really funny show.
It is.
Definitely more. But one of the things that I think that I don't know if that would be spoiling it. Are we trying to avoid spoilers?
Probably. Maybe? Maybe not.
Maybe I'll say that at the end of our series.
Okay.
It's just a little point of
Yeah, let's go.
comparison with the show, but it plays on the very ending of the show, and so maybe
Yeah, let's wait.
let's wait on that.
Let's wait.
All right, we can wait.
Yeah. Okay, so it was very adorable, but on Sunday the kids drew pictures of heaven.
Yep.
Or like their
Yeah.
visions of what they think
Yeah.
of when you say heaven.
Yeah.
And specifically Ollie. Ollie Lewis.
Lewis.
He drew a picture of him and his dad
Yeah.
fishing
Yeah, that's
on a
cute.
dock.
Yeah,
And he's like, this is heaven.
yeah,
How freaking cute.
that's very cute.
I
That's
hope
very
Adam
cute.
was feeling.
Oh,
Very happy.
I'm not a dad, but if I were his dad,
I'd
at
be
this moment, I'd
crying.
just be
Right.
just jumping up and down
Yeah, like,
inside,
I did it.
trying to contain it. Yeah.
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 Oh my gosh, there were some other really cute ones too. I'm trying to think of a lot of like, I don't know.
There was the one kid who said, "I don't know."
Just IDK
Yeah, IDK.
in the picture spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was Chase.
Yeah, that's
Chase
funny.
Thompson. Yeah. Say.
Ivy Purnell, I think she drew herself in Jesus.
Oh, that was so cute.
Yeah.
They're like, who is this? And she was like, me and Jesus. And I nearly crumbled.
Yeah, yeah.
It was adorable.
Yeah, that's very cute. It's very adorable.
Yeah.
How kids portray heaven.
Yeah.
Because interestingly, it's not just the stuff, right?
Mhm.
It's the relationships that they're
Yeah.
thinking about in
It's
heaven.
the
Because
people
that is,
and yeah.
and they're right about that. I mean, we don't know exactly what heaven's going to look like
Yeah.
physically,
Right.
or what exactly it even is. We just know that all things will be made new. That God will bring
Yeah.
finally heaven to earth, and all will be well. But we
Yeah.
do know that relationships
Yeah.
are the things that we take with us.
Yeah. Which is so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's like gives me a lot of hope. Where do you find little glimpses of heaven on earth?
I think like what we already talked about is moments of I mean
In the arts.
there's moments in Galatians. Paul talks about the fruits of the Spirit, and the fruit of the Spirit is joy, is perseverance, it's love and patience, and I don't remember the whole list,
Yeah.
but wherever I can find those things, I find that I'm experiencing a little bit of heaven, and
Yeah.
it reminds me of C.S. Lewis has a number of very, very famous quotes.
Mhm.
This one is, I've heard it in churches so many times, but I've heard it because it's good. Where he says, if I find myself a desire that nothing in this earth satisfies on a cruise,